We got a special guest today, the one, the only, Devin Williams. How you doing?
I'm good.
Dev in the lab.
Thank you for joining us.
You killing shit, man. You killing shit.
I'm trying at least.
So under the numbers.
Right. We seen the metrics. We posted the screen grab. I think it was December, and you hit him with like the 60 piece. I was like, shit, bro. That's elite.
I worked a long time for that.
All right, yeah. Right. Yeah, because we go back. I know you was doing all that shit even back then, but I know the Twitter's finally catching up with the IG, so it's good to see.
I know, right? It's funny because I started on YouTube like 10 years ago, kind of growing organically or whatever,
For sure.
and doing a whole basketball thing, and this is the way it took off. Yeah. My followers took off. It's so funny to me. Like, trying to be all inspirational, motivational. Nah, just
joke.
Be an a-hole.
Clown these niggas, you feel me?
My shit's the same thing. It's like put some memes up. Now all of a sudden, then I went to the dark side and I came back to the light though. I had to start seeing these niggas in the streets. So can't see them in real life. Like, ooh. Sorry about that, Jalen Ramsey.
I do the same thing, actually.
Yeah, I already know. We're going to get into
You
it.
deleted a few tweets yet? You know what I'm saying?
Everything's staying up there.
Okay.
I'm a coward. I've deleted a lot of tweets. So.
You start to see how sensitive dudes are that you would least expect.
Oh, my.
Just the looks, but then it's like the third hangout guy in their crew, never first or second. They're generally prioritized.
There's a player I know that has a burner account that comments on the team's page saying to trade his teammates, and all the teammates know about this, and they think it's hilarious. And so, guys are reading everything.
Current NBA players?
I'm not getting into this.
Off camera, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about
Y'all
this.
don't get to hear about this shit.
But let's go to the beginning. You know what I'm saying? When did you fall in love with the game? When did you start hooping?
I mean, my dad sat me in front of I watched every Laker game growing up. People think I'm lying when I say that, but I actually did.
You saw the Kobe 81 game?
I watched all of it.
Everybody missed that.
So I saw the 63 one. We should have had more.
Yeah,
facts.
Yeah.
So basically, my dad was a huge Laker fan. He played he was a Major League Baseball player. A lot of people don't know that. It's Chicago White Sox. And so he didn't actually like watching baseball. He liked watching basketball. He wanted to be a basketball player. Went to Morningside.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So long story short, I'm a baby sitting in front of just watching all the Showtime Lakers and watching Nick Van, Eddie Jones. I remember all those squads. So he would make sure that I was just watching basketball all the time, and I kind of fell into it. I didn't start playing at 8 years old. I was playing the piano, taking piano lessons. I saw all the kids playing outside. I said, I'm done with this.
At 8, yeah.
And outside, I started playing basketball. The rest is history. I wish I would have started a little younger, but it is what it is.
So how'd you get into the training space? So you've been on YouTube doing this for a minute, well before the FBI agent.
So you got to remember what I was telling you. So, I came up in the N1 phase, so I didn't really think, I got a quick story. Alan Crabb. So our thing was playing that price. Let's get in here and play. When I was a senior, Alan was in 8th grade. And so he would come in. He had a nutritionist. He had a trainer.
8th grade?
Yeah, he had all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, he would come in and just shoot on the other side. And we trying to go forward. Get your ass off the court. But my thing was yo, come work out with us. You're going to get better with us. But he was just putting up shots. And lo and behold, that's why he went to the league, because he was doing all that stuff. So, I didn't think about training like how a lot of people think about it nowadays, which is so random that I'm a basketball trainer. So what we really got, obviously, the whole Kobe era, but I didn't try to be a basketball trainer. Mm-hmm. It happened because these two Chinese kids, when I was living in the Bay, I was we would go to open gyms and they saw me, I handle. So they were like, yo, you want to train me? I'm like, what? For what? It was
play ball, my nigga.
I'm trying, run ones. That's how ignorant I was. Right. So it was can you train? I'm just trying to go to college, whoopty whoop. And they just two short Chinese kids. So I started training them, whatever. One kid asked me, he was like, can I bring my brother? I was like, man, I actually like it. They were coming and getting better shooting 10 out of 10, wow. 24 out of 25 from 3, and they wasn't able to really shoot like that. Yeah. So I'm like, man, what we're actually doing is working. Mind you, I had no clue what I was doing. I was just telling, oh yeah, go do this or do this crossover. We're spamming moves, and you don't even do that much in the game. It's mostly jumpers. If you look at basketball, it's layups, free throws, 3-pointers, whoopty whoop, right?
Yeah.
So had I not trained those two Chinese kids, that actually led to me going to China, because the people who work for Adidas saw the documentary that were in China. So they invited me out to come be a basketball trainer, and run a tour in China. I still didn't know what I was doing. I was just making up drills out the top of my dome. I was watching Phil Handy. I would go I always tell people Phil Handy raised me, but he didn't know it. So I would go like to games or watch him before games to see how you would operate with certain players. You know, see the drills you would do. Oh, let me take that. I'm gonna use that. I'll go back to the gym. I'll be going. I have free BART. If anybody knows what BART is, like the Trent Bay Area Rapid Transportation. I have free because like this is another random thing. So the kid that asked me to train him, his dad was a BART engineer. So he gave me a BART card. I was traveling BART for free for a year. And that's like back and forth, that's like $10, $20.
Yeah.
And I was working out 5 times a week. So that was money, you know. And when I broke college, I had just got out of college. So anyways, ran the whole tour in China. I came out, they gave me like $50,000 in cash. Like I walked across back on the plane with cash.
Did you have to check that?
Like what did they?
You had to declare when you come in.
Declare your I ain't declaring shit. It's cash, bro. You sneak it in there.
Yeah, I just didn't know. And people were like,
tax free.
When I tell people like, they were like, that's crazy because like you could have really got like caught up for that.
For sure, bro.
It was in my backpack.
Oh, okay.
It was in my backpack. I walked clean, nothing. And so, you know, I blew it.
Yeah.
As soon as I got back. But that turned into me like.
It was an experience.
Oh, bro. I didn't know what I was doing, man. Like people
why
don't
you
know
spending
that.
it on? I'm interested. Where that 50K went?
Partying.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
And so, long story short, you know, even longer story short, that turned to me like me getting Adidas plug turned into like them kind of helping me out, supporting me, sponsoring me or whatever. Anything that I needed, they were sending me kicks. So that kind of like, oh, you on with Adidas. So everybody wanted to come train and this and that. So like that's when I started like really developing a love. So I started watching film. Yeah. Once I started watching film, I started seeing what's happening mostly in the basketball game and what actually to work on. Fast forward, I met Pooh, and it validated that because he became a pro for the same reasons that the same stuff I was watching on film. So I just kept on with it, and here we are today, you know, long story short.
So let's talk about the prime FBI suspects, like snitch suspects. Who are the top 3 travelers in the NBA, you would say?
Travelers. I think Giannis is up there.
Oh.
I think his steps are so long that sometimes people get confused that he's actually traveling when he's not.
Yeah.
Because he's a Greek freak.
Right.
You know, we haven't seen anything like that. So when you're seeing the guy go from the 3-point line and his last dribble was at the 3-point line and he's laying the ball up at the end, people are like, no, that's not possible. It's like when I was watching Semi-Pro and they threw the lob and it was just like, no, foul. The ref was like, foul. No, 2 fouls. Because he had never seen it before, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's Morant who carries a lot, and I hate to, you know, I'm always on his head, but I have a huge respect for Morant.
Yeah.
You know, I really like it. Unfortunately, you know, the whole situation we're going through. But like
I was gonna say, be careful.
Talking about basketball, though.
On the
basketball side, man, I just have a huge respect for him. He's another freak of nature.
Yes.
Harden kind of added to an LA guy, you know, with the whole step back and everything. Some of them actually were not, but a lot of them were like, oh, okay, well, you know, we got to call that.
What do you think about the double step back? What do you think about that? The gather step
well,
and then the step after
technically it's legal. What a lot of people don't understand is this. Gather step has been around since basketball was created.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of people are just hearing it for the first time now.
It wasn't called that. It was just a thing we did. Yeah.
So I went on a whole little thing where I would go to parks and I would just film people and they didn't know that they were doing what they thought was travel. So I'd be like, yeah, tell me what a travel is. Okay, now watch this. Did you travel? By your definition, you travel, right? And people were like so confused, but it was just, they were just taking the gather. But anything in slow motion looks better or worse. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why, like, you know, you see on Instagram, everybody posting like, or especially when Giannis dunks, they're like travel. But it's just like, it's in slow motion, so you're seeing that. But live, you would have never even thought some of this stuff, you know? So,
but it's wild to me, like high school, college, they calling a lot of that shit. So these dudes have to learn how to do that. It's not something you can really practice in high school. Like I coached in high school this year, like they like on simple shit.
Anything that looks like NBA shit, get them out of there, bro.
These are lower level refs, right? They're only getting paid $50 a game. They're not capable of seeing that shit.
Yeah,
but once you get to the league, and like you said, you can break it down in slow-mo. A lot of times by NBA definitions of the rule, it's like, nah, but you know, when we were watching back in the day, like this nigga just traveled.
This is important to know though. So like any league above college, a gather step is legal. But college on down is not. You're not supposed to, but they do it all the time. Like if you watch high school, like they'll do like, you ever seen one where John Wall goes to the basket and he puts around his back, takes two, and it goes up and dunk, like stuff like that. Or Kyrie, he'll swing over the top of your head. That's like technically in college and all stuff. You see it all the time, but it's technically a travel. Like you're supposed to literally take those 1-2 steps. But that's why basketball is such in a weird state, because people don't know that. And they enforce it differently with the refs, and so a lot of people are like reffing to college standard or pro standards when they should be just knowing the rules at the college level. So basketball is in a weird state, and it's what started off as a joke just made me like educate myself a little bit more about things, kind of leading to the FBI and all that stuff.